Back again, Mondeo Mk3. The handbrake has gone a bit loose and floppy. The rear caliper, driver's side, the mechanism is starting to seize up. We've tried to lubricate it, we're going to change the caliper. So what we've got here, the rear brake caliper, and this is the handbrake cable pulling on this rotating adjuster at the back. So this is what works the handbrake. You pull the handbrake on, it pulls this and turns it. So what you can see here, this is the handbrake mechanism. When the handbrake's off like it is now, that there should be touching the pin here, and it's just not going back far enough. If I force it, it will go back a bit more. Okay, so handbrake on, then when you let the handbrake off, it should go all the way back. So things holding this on, we've got 13mm top and bottom. Obviously got the brake hose to release, so we've got to clamp that so we can take this brake hose off, and then the handbrake cable we've got to release out of the mechanism. So let's start by cracking this off, cracking that off, and see how we get on. So a little bit of penetrating oil, just get a little bit of that on there. That one okay. So let's just see how tight that is to start with. That's moving nicely. I won't get the clamp. Not got to get too mad with these, don't clamp it too hard as it'll split the pipe. I use a pair of mollies, but I'm not going all the way. I'm always going to leave a gap there. That should do it. Let's see how tight these mounting bolts are. I need a spanner on that one by the looks of things. That one's alright. There we go, bottom one out. Top one out. Give this a wiggle and it should come away. There we go. Excellent stuff. So just have a little wrestling match with the spring to release it. Go on, you can do it. Oh, there she pops. And just clean these nuts to release the bracket that holds the cable assembly. Tap that socket in there, little Allen key bolt, and whiz them out, 2 of them. Beautiful. And the second one, whiz that out. Now we're just going to wiggle that cable, give it a little tug just to release it. There she goes. As soon as this is released, I can notice the corrosion on the cable there. The cable's not retracting correctly. With this split and separated, I can work the caliper and it's as free as a bird, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. So now we've removed the caliper, we can see that the cable is also split and corroding and worse for wear, so we better change that. Okay, so the point that I'm at now, I've got this brake caliper down, I've disconnected the handbrake cable to find what I originally thought was the caliper being the issue. Turns out it's the cable, because now this is off and there's nothing attached to it. I've just popped the bolt back in the bracket there, and this is as free as a bird. So this is moving, the handbrake mechanism is moving lovely and free on there. It's returning fully back to where it needs to be, and the piston is moving as well, like it should. So it's good news in a way that the caliper's okay. It's bad news that the cable is a problem, because we've got to get that off, and that's going to be a bit of a git. But that's life. Let's crack on. We're going to change the handbrake cable. Okay, come and join me under the car. What have we got here? We've got handbrake cable coming from the caliper down the side, across the back. Oh, it's tight under here. Should have had this on my pit really. There you go. Now I've took the wheel off. I'm stuck. I wasn't expected to take this off. Right, so then it goes along and down the side of the exhaust heat shield. So I've got to take the heat shield off the exhaust to get access to the back of that cable adjuster. Right, so 10 mil. Got these. Right, straight through that one. Looking in there, oh, I can see the adjuster. Happy days. Right, so can I show you that it's a bit tight in there? Let's see what we can do. There it is. You can just make it out in there. Oh, it's hard to hold it. Right. So I'm going to unhook the cable from that and pull it out. Okay, so I've just got to unhook that and pull it out from that. So it's a bit tight, so I'm just going to have to loosen off the adjuster, which is the big nut. Okay, so I've got 16mm universal joint, long extension, and just feed that down there onto the 16mm centre nut on the adjuster, and then I'm going to loosen this off. Give us a bit more slack on that. Oh, it's so tricky with one hand trying to get it up there. Bingo, there it is. Let me show you that. Press those little plastic clips on that supporting retainer and pull it out. Oh, holy lordy, that was tight. Oh, but she's out. So, whew. Okay, so we've got the bottom one off. Now we're just going to pop it out of these retaining clips. 1, 2. Get these cable ties on the arm to release it from there. Oh, God, blimey. God, that was tough, wasn't it? Okay, then we're just left with this end here, which we've got to release this spring clip from. So we'll pop a little screwdriver in the back through there, not through the front there, and prise it up. And she comes, and then we should now be able to release that from there. And how seized up it is. Bingo. Whew. One bracket released. And there we have one old handbrake cable. That is really stiff. Really stiff. The problem. New handbrake cable, yeah. Okay, let's feed it through. first things first, we get this back on the end here. There's a little clip. Okay. So I should cable tie that one back up again, like we did before. Okay, this plastic clip that was on here, that needs to come off because we get a new one with the new cable. So let's get rid of that. So we'll get that back in and then I'll straighten it all out. There we go. Is that one? These clamps lug us through, up and through there with that. And clip this back in again. We'll feed that back through and clip that in. Clip that in there like that. It's all looking good. Now I've just got to reattach the adjuster, which is never going to be easy, but I'll give it a go. Okay. Right, so back to the caliper. Now, if I was going to replace this caliper because there was something wrong with it, and we've now deemed that this one is okay, but we've pretty much done the job. We've got it off. All I've got to do is just unscrew the caliper from the brake hose. And you do that when you crack it off, you actually turn the caliper round to unscrew it, holding the brake hose firm. And then you do the same, you screw the caliper back on again, so you're not twisting the brake hose. And that's it, other than bleeding it through. You just uncrack the nipple off, pump the pedal a few times till fluid comes out, and then tighten it back up again. Okay, so I've got that back through there. Now we've just got to get this bracket back round and reattach it to the caliper. Okay, let's release the clip from the brake hose. Let's get it bolted back up here, and then we can put the spring on. So, okay, because we've been messing about with this, the adjuster's moved out, so we've just got to wind the piston back in on the caliper. Ah, an imposter's hand on my video. I did lose my footage, so I've had to borrow this guy's for this part. You use that tool, you just wind that caliper back a tad, pop them bolts back in, job's a good one. So we'll just whack a cable tie around this to pin it to the arm. So I pump the brake pedal, and this should be quite loose because we slacked off that adjuster. Working like a dream, as free as a bird. So now it's all down to personal preference on your handbrake tightness. For me, I like to have a bit of leverage. Some people like it 2 clicks, click, click. But the thing with that is, the levers on the mechanism aren't getting much use because they're only moving a very, very small amount, and you do get a lot of seizures. If you've got 4 clicks, 5 clicks, the whole lot is getting plenty of movement and it keeps it from seizing. So I'm going to go for 4 to 5 clicks. So at the minute I've got about 7. So that adjuster, the 16mm nut that we slackened off underneath the car, we're going to tweak that up a bit and bring this down a tad. So back under the car again, let's get onto that 16mm adjustment nut. And I'm thinking, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarters. Let's try the handbrake and see what that's like. Yeah, so that's spot on. That's on 4 clicks, 5 if you really give it a tug. So let's get these heat shields back in place. Space them out, straighten everything out under here. You get corrosion and they actually make the hole bigger, so now I need a washer that's bigger than the hole we're left with. So I've got a nice big washer to fit over the top of that there, which is bigger than the hole, and then we can screw this fasten her back up again, and it's going to hold all that in place nicely. Super. Cable's in, job's a good one. Everything's back on, brake caliper's on, done up, springs in. I've just rechecked that brake pipe, make sure it's tight in the caliper. We've clipped it all in nice and secure. We've adjusted the handbrake, put the wheel back on. Brilliant. Whew, and there we have it. The Golden Goddess lives to fight another day. Bless it. What originally I thought was going to be a caliper replacement turned out to be the handbrake cable that was seized. But you know, we live and learn. You go through these things and find out what's wrong. Quite pleased with that though. It was a bit of a git, that job, trying to get that cable out. The tricky bits was pulling down the heat shield under the exhaust, just trying to get that end of the cable into the adjuster. You've got to push it, twist it and hook it in. That was quite fiddly, and mainly because it's so tight because the exhaust is in the way. Other than that though, it all went to plan really. If it's been of any help to you, if the video's been okay, please click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.